Good evening. An author and an artist are the subjects of tonight's close-up, and deferring to youth, we'll start with the artist. Remember his name. It's Norval Morrisseau, a 31-year-old Ojibwe painter whose works were publicly displayed for the first time last week. The Toronto art world responded warmly to the showing held at a small gallery in the city's Greenwich Village. The collectors had heard the new name and came in droves to see and buy his art. They liked what they saw and snapped up all of his 35 pictures for a total of $4,000. Overnight, Norval Morrisseau, the shy, mystical artist, had found the acceptance he always knew would be his. Morrisseau has been painting in isolation, completely untutored. His home is in Beardmore, Ontario, a town in the remote Lake Nipigon country. His oil-on-paper paintings depict the history and religion of his people, and in all the works are the strong medicine symbols given to him, some in dreams, by the spirit Manitou. Norval Morrisseau is a man in conflict, caught between Christian teaching and his Ojibwe mystical beliefs. After the opening of his show, he talked with June Colwood for Close-Up.
What about the circle in the right-hand corner? I understand that's your name.
Yes, that's my name. The two circles on top are associated with Thunderbird.
Is that your name in Cree?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What is your name?
O Ozawa Pikopenese.
What does it mean, approximately?
As close as what I could say is Copper Thunderbird.
It's
But if you want to say it in Ojibwe, Ozawa Pikopenese, see this, so you could say it
Ozawa
faster.
Pugnesis?
No.
Not even close, eh? It's an unusual name, Copper Thunderbird. It has a sound like the Southern Indians, the Aztecs. You said it was. Is it an unusual name in your tribe?
Yes, I was told it's a very powerful name. And those Indians that I have met in Red Lake area, they were telling me that it's a very powerful name. Some feared, and some showed respect and fear, some of them, because how come I had such a powerful name?
Who gave you your name?
It was a medicine woman from Ignace, Ontario. And what I understood that I was very sick when I was small. And she said that I would live to be what I am right now today, like I would be grown up. And she gave me this name, and from then on I got better.
Did she predict that you would be an important man?
Well, that wasn't the thing that my people asked. It was just that would I get better again?
Would you live?
Yes.
She knew you would live.
Yes. Well, one time, it's a funny thing how I know too. Rabbits are not supposed to bite.
No.
And anyone knows that if a rabbit ever bites you, it means long life. And the rabbit bit me here, in my hand.
Good heavens.
And the next time a rabbit bit me twice, was that mean to say I'm going to live 2 lives?
When you go off by yourself, you said sometimes you go into the woods by yourself.
Yes.
What are you going away from?
Well, you see, religion gets so confusing to me too. I'm a Catholic, and these two things that sometimes I should believe in this, and then my beliefs to my Indian beliefs. These two things, they're always coming together. There's a time when they come so hard and me like that, I don't know what to think.
And can you sort it out by yourself?
Well, I sorted it out by myself, so now that is why I don't really practice the Indian beliefs, and I don't practice the Christian beliefs. So I'm in between.
But you don't want either one to hurt?
Yes.
Or to hurt the other?
Well, mention this painting now. I don't think there's nothing bad in them, because although these things were respected as demigods by my people, but still I don't think there's actually anything wrong with them. When I was, before I started here, we had this Great Spirit Manitou. I spoke to him and I asked him, help me to understand these things.
How can you speak to a Great Spirit?
We just have to.
What did he say?
And this is the medicine dream I had.
That you would paint?
That I would paint, and that I always will be protected by these, that I am not going to be afraid. And that I should take this, I hear them speaking, but it's not speaking, it's not as if he puts in something in your mind. and as if that I'm going to be protected both day and night. He gives me cloths, and when I look at the cloth, it was the sky, the night sky and the day sky. So that means a continuation of everyday protection as far as I'm going to bother this.
Yeah.
He told me to make a charm out of these two colors, or use these two colors, or wear a shirt in these two colors.
And as long as you go in this stream, you're all right.
Yes.
Have you been hurt since this?
No.
And so what happened to you here in the city, the success seemed to you like part of what was promised?
Yes.
And what, and will it go on?
Yes, we'll go on. Now, even I know the time I'm going to die when I'm going to be old.
When?
I'll be very old.
You said your, how your mother died.
Yes, she, not my mother, my grandmother. She died of sorcery.
And your grandfather?
My grandfather, he pretty near died with my grandmother, but
It was the same spell?
yes.
Could you die of sorcery?
How can I die when I got these two colors?
What are your colors?
Red and blue, or two light red and light blue.
And are they in all your paintings?
This is my own personal one.
Those are your colors?
They don't have to go on the paintings.
And you, when you do die, what happens to these colors?
They will die with me.
And will you end?
Well, we'll tell you when we come back again next time.
How will I know you?
Well, I don't know.
You'll be red and blue.
Maybe they will.
One of the things that we were wondering about is how you were feeling when the gallery show opened and the people came in and looked at your paintings.
And I felt nothing.
Nothing? Did you feel strange about them?
Well, in a way, I was a little strange.
Did you feel that they were judging you?
Well, I felt they were judging the art, I guess.
Could you talk to them easily?
Yes, whenever they wanted to ask me for anything, I told them what I wanted to know.
What kind of questions?
You know, what these pictures meant, you know, where they were made, and
Do you think that they understood what you were trying to say with the paintings?
I think I hope so that they understood me.
Would you describe for us something that's in one of your paintings, say the big colored one of the bird and what seems to be a snake?
Well, the picture represents a thunderbird, and these are lightning marks, the ones that are shooting forth from its eyes. And then the lightning marks, or the lightning, goes on top its head, the snake's head, to paralyze it. And these, the tail square mark on the tail, these are medicine symbols. It represents any medicine here, what the Indians know. The bottom round lines, they are connected with the snake. That's medicine symbols also, good and bad. And of course the claw marks were the blood.
What are the sort of patterns on the snake and on the bird?
Well, we could say the scales for the snake. And those little marks there on the Thunderbird, I thought I would put them on there because they look so sacred to me.
Do they look sacred?
Yes. That's why I put them there.
This week I understand you made $4,000. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know.
What have you wanted?
What I wanted was people to know this art. This is all I ever wanted.
And is there something you want for your children?
Well, let my wife buy something for the children.
You had how much education?
Grade 4.
What about your children?
Well, I wish to send them to school now that I could afford. I hope that I am affording to send them to school when they get big.
Would they go to a white school or an Indian school?
Well, I don't see why they can't go to white school.
Some Indians don't want their children in white schools.
I don't know about this.
But you do.
No, I
You
wouldn't
do.
yet.
What do you think that the thing that is in you might be in one of your children?
Yes, I'll learn them.
And will your wife? I understand she might weave, and you might do
Yes, she
patterns for
might
her.
read. What I like to do with them, I'm going to buy a tape recorder and I like to collect Indian songs. I'm a good
Ah.
singer myself, but I like to record it, and after it's recorded, I like to hear myself what I sound like.
You sing in Ojibwe?
Yes, and as well as I like telling Indian legends, and I like to talk in this machine and then listen to myself, relax and listen to myself, see what I sound like.
Where do you learn the songs?
Oh, I have some of my own. And I have 4 what I learned through my medicine dreams, and the others that what my grandfather has learned.
Would you be a medicine man, do you think?
Well, now I'm speaking in front of public. I would like the Indians to think I am a medicine man. I might be getting
But you
what
think
you call this,
really you?
prescriptions or something like that.
Yeah.
See?
Well, you do though. You do find herbs for your people when you're in the woods, don't you?
Well, I heard you need a license too to practice it.
I'm sure they'd let you bring back herbs, especially as they work. But you might possibly be what they called a medicine man.
I might be.
Did medicine men, were they artists?
Well, they were very honored by all those way people. But I don't like to be honored. I don't want everybody to think, well, here's Norval Morrisseau, the great medicine man or artist. I don't want them to think that way of me. I want them just to think as I am.
And what are you?
An Indian among Indians. Same thing like I don't like to think the artist to think me as a great artist. I want them to think just as an artist, like you're an artist and I'm an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I made $4,000 this week, I'm greater than you when you made $200 last week. It's this way. To be equal, that's what I like.
Norval Morrisseau, Ojibwe artist who brings a new dimension to Canadian art.